Okay, welcome everyone. My name is Abimbola Oyekoya, and I'll be your host today. We're here because we're members of the Better Tribe, and I thought it would be useful for us to start to know each other better by coming together and talking, asking questions, sharing what we know. So I'm going to run through as brief as I can through the agenda. And I'm going to talk about the reason for the tribe. I'm going to ask questions around how the community can serve you, because I think the most important thing for me is not just having a group of people, but it's ensuring that everyone is receiving value from the group. And I'm going to share a little bit about my story. And give time for questions and comments. And there's a what's cooking section. So I had an interesting conversation this week about a potential opportunity that I want to share with the tribe as well. So that will be the running order for today. So we're going to start with information about the tribe. So I started the group in February. Because I've had this idea in my mind of a community that supports people that are making the very important decision to relocate, because I think that's a really, really big, it's a pivotal decision that people make, leaving the comfort zone and moving to somewhere that they would have to unlearn, learn, and get to know a different culture and thrive in that community. So I think one of the things that really helped me when my family and I moved was the community that we had around us in terms of family that we could talk to that had been here before us. So I thought, okay, it would be useful to kind of set up a tribe that gives people that opportunity to network with other people who have either taken that decision or taking that decision or thinking about taking that decision. And so who's the tribe for? It's for anyone who's made the decision or making the decision to relocate to the UK. Under that category, I think that the three sets of people. There will be people that are already in the UK. There will be people who are packing their bags and getting ready to get on a plane to come to the UK. And there'll be people that are still thinking about it or thinking about how they can go through the process, and the kind of support or information that we can share with those three different groups. I think they're slightly different. So I think I wanted to just make that explicit, is that, we know that different people are going to be in different places in their journey. And we're open to support with our knowledge, experience, and our connections, anyone on that trajectory. And then the second group of people are people who've been on that journey. So I have quite a number of people on the call today who've been on that journey and who I'm sure are willing to share some of their experience, tips, that can help the community to understand some of the things that happen when you relocate. So there are two key objectives for us. It's around, and I've talked around this, it's about connecting people with opportunities. And it's also creating a platform for people to connect and build support in their locality, well, as local as it can get, depending on the numbers that we have in different locations. But as we have that, things are still very virtual and remote. I think, even if people are located in different geographies, we can still feel like one network and feel connected. And that's one of the reasons I wanted us to start off having a conversation, because sometimes on a group or on a LinkedIn page, we can feel very far from each other. But when we start to talk to one another, see one another from time to time, we can start to build relationships. So that's one of the reasons for the session today as well. So our mission over the next 12 months is well, I think we've almost smashed our number goal. So when I put this together in February, I was thinking, okay, if we can get to 100 people over the course of the year, you know, as members of the tribe, and then create opportunities or discuss opportunities that helps those 100 people, then we'll be in a good place. I think I'm very pleased to let you know that I think it's just about 1 month, we've almost hit the 100 number. And now I'm starting to think, okay, so what's the next number we want to strive for? So I think we're on number 97 now. And I think the 100th person that joins, we get a special gift because they're helping us smash goals too quickly. But thank you everyone for sharing and inviting people to the community. I think it's been because people believe in the vision and they want to be part of it. So that has been amazing to see. So I was talking about goal. So for me, it's around building a community of growth-minded people. So I know that there will be different challenges that people will face relocating to the UK. I think one of the key things for me is that the mindset in which you start that journey impacts the opportunities you create or you can have access to or utilize. So I think for me that is a key thing for anyone joining the community, is to be willing to grow and develop themselves, you know, to see challenges and take them as opportunities, and to be honest and open about their perspectives. You know, we understand that people have different backgrounds and have come from different walks of life. It's about being open and honest so that different people can learn from your perspective and you can also learn from others. It's also being non-judgmental and understanding that different people are on different points in their journey. You know, some of us might have been here for a number of years. Some people might just be thinking about it, and it's understanding that, okay, the kind of questions people might ask might seem, oh, okay, why is that person asking that question? But it's just a reflection of what they need to know per time. So it's being kind and non-judgmental and helping people as best as we can. And the last thing I've got on that list is around something that has become very important to me this year, around living a significant life. And the key point I want to draw out there is not is that we don't just join this to get value, but we also join to give value. You know, so as you're being watered, you're also creating value for other people. So if you imagine a pool of water and you drop another drop of water in it, that ripple effect that it creates is what I'm envisioning for the network, is that as you get supported, helped, as you get nuggets that improves your perspective, you're also sharing that with other people in your network, and we're creating a ripple effect that then adds value across a greater number of people. So I think for me, those are the key things I wanted to talk about in terms of our vision, where we are currently. So we're still very, very well under 1 year. And if we can incorporate all of this into the way that we build the network, then I think that would be success for me and for every one of us. I don't know if anyone has got any thoughts, questions or comments around what I've just shared. And I'm happy for us to use the chat to communicate our thoughts or our questions or our comments. I'm going to pause for a few seconds to see if anyone wants to add anything on that. Any questions, thoughts? Okay, I'll take silence as no. So the next slide is so this is where this is about trying to understand what would be beneficial for everyone. So as I said on the last slide, there are different people on different stages within their journey, and the help or support people will need at the stage of the journey they are is different. So I wanted to kind of get an idea of what people who are on the call would find useful over this, let's say, the next couple of months, for us to either talk about, share, or discuss, so that we can either on the LinkedIn platform or on another Zoom call have conversation around those topics. So if you could just list in the chat a couple of things that you would find interesting to talk about. And while you're talking about that, I had a very interesting conversation this week around partnering with an institute. It's called the Institute of Leadership and Management. And I think the reason why this is quite interesting is because one of the challenges that I think people face when they relocate is around getting a job, writing a good CV, performing effectively on an interview, understanding what words to use to communicate your transferable skills. And I'll talk about that partnership further down in the agenda, but I just wanted to mention that, so that there are different opportunities that we can look at. And I was just thinking, okay, it will be important to at least first of all ask the people we're trying to serve what they would find useful. So if you want to drop in the chat topics or headlines of things that have been coming to your mind to ask or get support with, or questions you just have, I think that will be very helpful, and it would form the basis for future conversations. I'm going to give us a couple of seconds to start to pop thoughts in the chat, and it can be anything at all. It can be a simple question, it could be a headline or a theme, or whatever you think you would benefit from if we were to discuss, or if you had someone to talk to you around it. And I'll just want to say welcome to James. James. So there are 3 James I can see in the 4 actually. Welcome and thank you for joining us. We had to kick off because we've got 1 hour, but the session is being recorded, and the information section of the recording I will look to put on the LinkedIn group. So you can still catch up on any part of the conversations you've missed. So, oh, okay, Dimeji, you're welcome. So I can see the name changing. You're welcome. Can we just think about topics? I think one of the topics for me, one of the first things I think about is around one's mindset. So I'm just going to type that in the chat. Mindset. So I think for anyone coming to the UK, and I was having a conversation with someone this week, which is quite powerful, around the mindset and how the mindset you have can either hinder or create opportunities for you. And I think maybe in one of the sessions that will probably run further along, we would have people come and talk about the recent experience of having relocated to the UK, so that others can learn from that. So as thank you to Meiji for putting that on there, CV formatting and transferable skills, like you said. So I'll talk about one of the things that is cooking. That is an opportunity for the tribe further down the line, and I think people can keep adding things to the chat. So this next slide is somewhat very difficult for me because I really don't like talking about myself, but I find that when you hear about other people's journeys, it kind of gives you a picture of what's possible. It gives you something to latch your hope on. And so I thought, okay, let me just talk a little bit about my story of relocating to the UK, and hoping that that would inspire people who maybe have just moved, are thinking about it, to see that there are opportunities in the UK, you can actually achieve the better life that you're probably, that is the reason why you are thinking of relocating. So I relocated to the UK in 2014 with my son to join my husband, who had been on his MBA for a year. And I think for us, it wasn't a long-term plan. It wasn't something that we had been planning over a period of time to say, oh, okay, we're all going to move to the UK, because I don't think I wanted to live in the UK per se, you know, as a Lagosian and Nigerian. You have to, it's a difficult thing to just say you want to leave Lagos, because life is bubbling in Lagos, you know. And I'd often come on holiday to the UK, and I just thought, you know, it's too dry. But as life will have it, in September, I got the opportunity to come and do my MBA, and I was like, okay, let's see what it's like. And I moved to join my husband, and I started my MBA course. And after my MBA, we then decided as a family to see what opportunities exist and how we can start to exploit those opportunities. So I think for me, one of the first roles that I did was with the university. So we had the university provided an opportunity for people to be employed to help with one of their fundraising programs, which was quite useful because it then gives you a perspective of, okay, what does work feel like in the UK? So I started, my first job was to help on a fundraising drive, which was calling prospective donors and trying to get them to donate to the cause, really. It wasn't a very easy role, but it was quite interesting to do. And then I got another job around price analysis with a company, which was a short-term thing off the back of that. So because I could show that I had done something in the UK, I think the other company felt comfortable to employ me. One of the things that I usually say to people when I'm talking to them about jobs is it doesn't matter, well, it matters where you start, but don't be too concerned about starting from different things we'll call odd jobs, because it creates a platform for you, it creates a track record for you, and that's what I found. After working about 3 of those kind of jobs in the space of about 6 months, I got my first permanent role with the civil service, which was quite an interesting process, but it just showed me that if you're not fixed on just making money, if you've got that growth mindset of, okay, I know where I want to go, I know what good looks like for me, and I'm happy to start with what opportunities I have, you can always work yourself up to where you want to be. So in August of 2016, I got my first official, office job, what I'll call a proper job, because it was permanent, and it came with all the benefits that comes with a permanent job. In 2017, we then got an opportunity to buy our first home. It wasn't something we had planned, but it was an opportunity that turned up and that we just took. It was something that we didn't think could happen, but we sought knowledge. We had conversation, asked questions, weren't shy to get turned down, and it turned out for our good. I think sometimes we get bogged by, oh, what if they say no? What if they say you're not eligible? It's just one more piece of information you have. So I think 2017, and I'm summarizing because if I decide to tell you the details of everything, we probably will leave here anytime soon. Almost Shaliwa, thank you for joining. Just to let you know, we're recording this introduction bit, so don't feel like you've missed a lot. I would share the video on the LinkedIn page so that people can listen to it. Welcome Edak as well. So in 2017, that was an opportunity that we didn't see coming, but was a good opportunity that we took. And then in 2021, I started to reflect on my journey relocating to the UK and where we had got to in life, and the dream started to just bubble up in me around, that there will be value in creating that kind of community for people, where you can talk to people, ask questions, feel comfortable asking the so-called silly questions, just so that you can get more understanding. And you can feel supported. You can feel like, okay, I've got people I can call family around me, that I can go to and talk to. So that dream started brewing at that point. And in February this year, I finally got the big push to just start something, and here we are today. So I hope that's been useful in painting the journey. And I think for me, when I was reflecting about my journey, I think one of the key things that I thought, oh, would be a great thing is to shorten this timeline for people. So if we can support each other such that it doesn't take 3, 4, 5 years or 7 years for you to feel stable in the new environment that you've come to live in, then that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. That helps people to build up and achieve and thrive faster. So that was one of my personal goals that I set in my mind, is that, as people join and get involved in this work, it's showing them that, okay, that there's different length of times that you can achieve stuff in. But if you've got the growth mindset, if you're focused on what you want to achieve, if you're open to opportunities, then you can shorten that line, that timeline. And I think for me, that would be a personal thing I'll be looking out to see, is how that the families that join, the people that join, how they can quickly transition from different stages of the journey, moving to the UK. So yes, so I just thought to say that there. Thank you, Dimeji, for that comment. So we're going to move on to, this is the most important part of this conversation, because I think for me, I started to think about what content, what opportunities do we start to share with the community so that people start to find value. And because we know that different people are at different stages in their journeys, I thought, okay, if I try to come up with all of the things that I think people need to hear, know, talk about, it will probably take me a longer time. So I want to boycott that process by just asking the people who are in the network, in the community, what would you find useful, you know? And I think I asked this question earlier on. I'm going to ask it again because more people have joined. What would you find useful? What kind of things would you want to know about, depending on where you are on your journey, whether you're already here, whether you're just about to get on a plane to come here, or whether you're still thinking about the process and going through the process. So what are the kind of things that would help you that we could talk about or share that would make the process easier for you? So if you just want to drop that in the chat, I think that will be very helpful, and we can kind of collate that and start to build content around it. So I'm going to pause there for breath, and I'm going to give opportunities for people to ask any questions, any contributions based on all of what I've talked about in the last, how many minutes now? 30 minutes. Oh, wow. I talk a lot then. So if anyone has any questions or contributions, it didn't feel like 30 minutes, it felt like, 5-10 minutes. So if anyone has any questions or contributions, now is a good opportunity to either come off mute, ask your questions, and I'm going to be editing out the questions and answers section. I just want to have that so that I can use it for my notes, because if I decide to take notes alongside talking and listening, then my attention will be very much divided. So the questions and answers section of this recording will be edited out. I'm just going to share the information part at the beginning. So if you want to ask any questions, you can, or contribute, or share any thoughts. This is the opportunity to. You can come off mute and introduce yourself and contribute. So I've got comments in the chat. You and your family being my first point of contact has been one of the greatest blessings to my relocation journey. James, do you want to just say a little bit about that so that people can hear someone else's voice? Apart from mine this morning, thank you so much for those comments. But yes, do you want to say more?
Okay, good morning, everyone. So I'm sure possibly people are wondering how come we have so many James in the house. A friend that shared my link directly with some people, so we have people having to show the same name.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess just click on my link here. So basically, my name is James Akese. I moved to the UK last year, just 1 year. Yeah, I came in on the 8th of March. For masters, and we plan to move with my family. And in a nutshell, Bimbo and the husband happens to be the people that hosted me for the first few weeks when I came in. And what I got from them wasn't just about the accommodation. It was more of, getting me ready for what was actually available. And a lot of things I tell a lot of people today, I learned from them, and that comes from the part of information and mindset. And I think the first critical part that I always hear Shagun say is, anything you hear from anyone, if you can't find it off gov.uk, don't take it serious. Always have your own research and all that. And there's this saying, they always tell me, don't aim low. Always look for the people that are getting the best results in the UK. Don't look for people that are getting small results. Don't look for people that are doing the menial jobs. Yes, you can start anywhere, but look for people that are doing great things, and that part of mindset and seeing them come in and within a short time doing pretty well and supporting and helping people, with all those information were very useful. And now 1 year after, I'm grateful I met them, different point in time, a lot of us will come in and feel like, I'm overwhelmed, there's so much. Yes, the case of UK, you have to find things, one step at a time as you move in, as you move on accommodation, we all have the story to tell. But one major part for me was the fact that the information was helpful and it was able to, propel me in the right direction. So yeah, basically, if I'm wrapping up my mind, that's my family's there. Now my wife has got a good UK job. I've gotten a job as well, even though I'm yet to finish my master's. All those information, I believe we're going to get much more, from this group. And that's why I can't wait to invite as many people as possible to us to be part of it. Because there's so much reality that people come in with or get to see. And the most fundamental for me is that everyone's reality will be different. And somebody's reality is valid, even though they tell you this is our reality. Don't expect yours to be like that. Always believe that yours can be different or better. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, James. And I think what you ended with, it's a really powerful statement around the fact that everyone's journey will be different. The fact that someone's journey was hard or easy or in between doesn't mean that's the same way it's going to happen for you. But I think what it provides you is evidence that you can break through whatever the barriers or challenges that you're facing is. You can get to the end of it. And I think that's really, really important, because what we're trying to do is not to replicate our journeys, but to help inspire people, to give support to people, depending on where they are in their journeys. So yes, thank you so much for sharing that. That's really helpful. And in the chat, Dimeji said you can share content around getting a job, buying a house, paths to settlement. Okay, so we'll take that into consideration. I think one of the things that I already started to do on the LinkedIn group is share different job campaigns that I come across. So I think maybe one of the things we could think about is having a career discussion or panel to kind of just help people. And I think for us to be able to do that effectively, we're going to have to poll in the group and understand the different types of roles that people are looking to get, and then provide content more specific to those. So over the next couple of weeks, we'll start to move on those thoughts. Thanks, Dimeji, for sharing that. And thanks, Eni, for sharing that link. Can you tell us a little bit about BCS? I'm not sure what that, have a look at, you said have a look at bcs.org as a starting point. So is that,
so that's basically the Chartered Institute of for IT in the UK. They offer something called business analysis certifications. So this is like a certification for people who want to become a business analyst, and they just like you have project management foundation and all that. So you have like a starting point. You could start with the foundation.
Oh, okay. I see that I've I've missed a couple of points.
Yeah.
So you were responding to James' question around what certification is necessary to be a business analyst. Thank you so much. That's really helpful, Eni. Olamide, you've got your hand up.
Yes, thank you very much, Bimbola. So I have two broad comments. Hello, everyone. We've spent 3 months here, and to be candid, if we hadn't been connected to the Oyekoya's family, I'm not sure what would have happened. there were two core things that they did for us. The first is they gave us the information we needed, desperately needed. And this is not like information on gov.uk. This is information on what to, how to, where to, when to do stuff. And the second is the most powerful for me, and that's mindset. Before now, I thought, my mindset was bulletproof, but upon getting here first week, I realized, the mindset that brought me so far wasn't gonna help me to where I wanted to be, right? So I think the mindset is one of the most powerful thing. And Abimbola, when you mentioned that you wanted to do this, I found it really valuable because people need to be connected to communities, right? And there's so much you can do on your own, doing one-on-one conversations with people like myself and James. But with the community, it means I can learn from Eni, I can learn from Dimiji, I can, like, for instance, I didn't know about BCS. I'm on the website and I'm like, oh, incredible. So yet another certification I can pursue. So the community is super important. When we're coming in here in November, I recall I had my first conversation with Abimbola. It was a 1 hour session. And from the beginning of the session was, I don't think we can make it to the UK. I don't think we can do this. And she says, what does your wife see? And my wife came on the call too, and like, yeah, we think we're making a mistake. This can happen. Like, we can't just shut down everything in Nigeria and just move to a land that we know nothing about, right? So, but after that conversation, it was the best conversation I've had with anyone. It wasn't pessimistic. It wasn't overly optimistic. It was just right. It was just what we needed to know. This is what it is. This is how you do it. For instance, I said, oh, I didn't want to do odd job. She said, okay, why? I told her why. She says, okay, so what do you need to do to make sure you don't do it? Like, okay, I didn't think of it that way, right? So those kind of conversations were brutally honest, straight to the point, and give us all the information we required to be here. When we got here in 10 days, I'm schooling, my wife is working. In 10 days, my wife got a job right out of Abimbola's house. Sending all the interviews. She just called us and said, look, you need to start sending all the applications. And my wife was sending out the applications, did the interview in one of the rooms there, did the second interview, and got the offer right there. I remember we had to go do some celebrations at KFC. It was incredible. I didn't know it was possible. I didn't know it was possible because of everything I've heard from every other person. But it was the mindset that's helped us this far. So and it was an office job doing HR in a great company. Myself too, I've gotten 2 offers now for my line of work in project management, and it's just, I think the mindset is what is more what has been very valuable to me. The second comment I have is so I know this is really good having a community of 100 people. We are 11 on the call today. I'm very keen to see this scale as soon as possible. And one way to do that is to drop informations in bite sizes. So what I mean is information that you literally don't need to be there in person to give, but you've created this in ebooks, PDFs, online courses, short online courses. What I think is to just think about the journey of relocation as a whole, and figure what are the things an individual needs before you come here, after you're here, then when you settled, right? What do you need to do? For instance, when I came in, I was like, oh, we should get a house now. I want us to get a house. And Mr. Shego said, no, not now. Think about this from 18 months. Okay, now that gave me a level of calm that we have a pathway for that. So I'm not thinking about that now, but I'm doing what needs to be done to get there, right? So we need different information at different stages of our stay here. If we can have this information in bite sizes, not too heavy, not too expensive too, maybe, but accessible to as many people as possible at different times, I think it's been really valuable to us. Thank you very much, Abimbola.
Thank you so much for saying that, Lamide. And I would also like to say that I learned from Lamide. He has such an interesting mind. He's got very interesting ideas. So he'll probably be our project manager for that piece of work. Because so I talked about two groups of people at the start. So people who want to be supported and people who have either been through the journey, are going through the journey and want to support. So Olamide falls in that those two categories, and he's been a really, really great help with bringing the Better Tribe to life. So thank you so much. And yes, let's think about the bite-sized information required. Are there any other thoughts or comments, or should we carry on? I just want to put in the chat, bite-size learning at different stages. Because that's my notes for today. Okay, all right. So we're coming up to time. We've got a few more minutes, and I wanted to talk about. Hope I haven't missed anyone's hand or questions in the chat. No, I think, yeah. My co-volunteers, if I've missed any questions in the chat, please can you just help me answer it so that I can run through the rest of the slide quickly. So I wanted to talk about an opportunity. So I was having a conversation. It was on Friday. Oh, Friday was yesterday. It was yesterday. I was having a chat with the, I think, stakeholder and engagement lead for a professional institute, which is the Institute of Leadership and Management. And I was thinking about what opportunity can we create to help people start to self-develop and start to understand a little bit about CV writing, interview preparations, writing up your experience in language that conveys the competence that you've got. And I decided to talk to the Institute of Leadership and Management because leadership and management is a skill that, any skill under those two headings, leadership and management, are skills that are transferable. They're skills that are needed in every sector that you're working in. There's skills that are needed at every level, so every grade within an organization, either to lead yourself or to lead a group of people or to lead the organization, or either to, or also to manage resources that are located to you, either your time resource, other people's time, or the organization's budget. So I thought, okay, that's an institute that their content will be valuable for every of our members if we can kind of agree some kind of partnership. So we're currently in talks around subsidized memberships for people from our community. And that's one of the other events that I think will be coming up soon. I'll be inviting Jane to come and talk to us about the Institute and what you benefit from being a member of the Institute. So I think for me, I engaged mostly with the content during COVID. So they've got these 49 components of leadership where you can assess the level that you're at, which I think is quite powerful, and you can get badges for completing those learnings or assessments, which I think is quite useful to start to show the relevance of your experience in the UK market. So more about that would come over the next couple of weeks. I would put on the group, the LinkedIn group, what the plan for a conversation or a discussion on that topic will be, and what the subsidized fee will be like. I'm trying to get the best subsidized fee that I can. So I'll have a few more conversations and see how low we can get the membership fee. Although the membership fee is £150 a year. But I understand that some of our members might just have relocated, don't have a job yet. And so if we could subsidize that, I think that would be really helpful. So I'll let you know as that is progressing via the LinkedIn page. So I think that's everything I wanted to talk through today. I don't know if anyone has any questions, any other questions that have come up, thoughts. We've got 4 minutes left. Happy for us to stop here, but if anyone has got any questions or thoughts or comments, any other comments or questions or thoughts, we've still got a few minutes left. If you think about any other thing that you haven't shared on the call today, and you thought, oh, I should have shared that, or I should have talked about that, or I should have asked that question, you can either ask it on the group on LinkedIn, or you can send me a message on LinkedIn if it's something you'd rather not share with a wide group of people. So I want to say thank you so much to everyone who has joined today, because I'm not seeing any hands or anyone come off mute. So I'm going to assume that we're reflecting on what we've talked about today. But I want to say thank you. I think Adekunle joined at some point while I was talking. Thank you for joining, Adekunle.
I think Annie is raising up his hand.
Annie, okay, Annie.
Hi, hi everybody. I'm quite conscious that our time is running quite fast. I was going to say thank you very much, Bimbo, for putting this together. This has been sort of like a what word am I looking for? A passion of mine over time. So I've been in this country for about 12 years. And I know what it is to relocate and not have anyone to put you through and stuff like that. So I've done this over the years. So thank you, Bimbo, for thinking of this and bringing, helping to bring people to a platform where they can receive help at different stages. What I was going to suggest is, I don't know off the back of this, maybe this could be some sort of WhatsApp group or something. So if people need information or anything, outside of these Zoom meetings, they can quickly and easily get that. Yeah, I tend to ramble a lot, so I don't want to take too much of our time, but that's basically the gist of it.
Thank you so much, Annie. And I think we've had conversations about things similar to creating a community. We've had several conversations on this topic over the years, and I think some of your contributions have spurred this. Really happy that you're supporting us here. I think in terms of sharing information, I think we could keep it to the LinkedIn group for now. I think maybe over the next couple of weeks, depending on the level of engagement we're getting from the LinkedIn group, we might create a smaller group on WhatsApp of people that contribute to conversations, respond to messages, react to polls that we see are quite engaged. So we leave the LinkedIn group as a general information space, and then we can have more closely knit conversations on the WhatsApp group. So that's a really good suggestion that we can think about over the next couple of weeks and months. Thank you, Annie. Let me see, any other? So I think we're gonna wrap it up there. And just to say again, thank you everyone for turning up this morning and taking out time to have this conversation. The tribe exists to support you, to give you a platform to support others. So it's not about me. I just happen to be the one that pulled it together. I am looking at every of my friends that have joined to support and volunteer and help with building this support network, and for everyone that has joined who needs support, to share what your challenges are so that we can focus on things that are relevant to your today. So without rambling on, because I can also ramble on, let me, oh, we're 1 minute late already. So I think, thank you everyone. Have enjoyed the rest of your day and your weekend, and stay connected and engaged to the LinkedIn group. Thank you. We're going to end it there. Have a good day. Bye. Should I assume someone has a question? And that's why some people are still on.